No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw for June 5th, 2023. We are on the road to Money in the Bank. Now, Endeavor representative, who may or may not be an actual representative of Endeavor, sent in a $10 super chat, so thank you for that, says, my final conclusion for this week's analysis is it doesn't matter what anybody says. There will always be enough people who say, quote, we love the horse poop you're giving us. Please give us more of it. I get the feeling that Endeavor representative was not satisfied with Monday Night Raw, but how did I feel about Double or Nothing? Not Double or Nothing, Monday Night Raw. Thanks a lot, Matthew, for throwing me off, by the way. All right, let's get into the Raw recap. Double or Nothing was a great show overall. Was it perfect? But anyways, let's get to Raw. This is not AEW talk. We kicked off the show with the new World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Freakin Rollins. He came to the ring and he questioned when was the last time a world title match took place on Monday Night Raw. He said it's been nearly 2 years. I think it was when Big E was still champion. Rollins issued an open challenge and Damian Priest accepted. A few issues. Number one, Damian Priest lost to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins pinned Damian Priest last week. Why do I want to see Damian Priest get a title match? Number two issue I have with this, why announce the opponent on social media? Let Rollins come out there, issue the open challenge, and somebody accepts. Number three, we had another interruption again after Rollins praised Damian Priest. Priest and Balor showed up. Damian Priest said that Rollins should only worry about him. Priest said he doesn't need anybody in Judgment Day to help him beat Seth Rollins. And Rollins said that Priest should put his money where his mouth is. Leave his crew Judgment Day in the back. And Damian Priest accepted. We set up our main event of the evening, which really, because they already announced this match on social media, I feel like this opening segment was not necessary. Like, just do the match. But it's a 3-hour show, and you guys know the drill. We had our first Money in the Bank qualifier of the evening, Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville. And going in, you know damn well Sonya Deville is not beating Becky Lynch. So it's kind of like, all right, let's just get it over with. We know Becky Lynch is going to win. And even with the outside interference, you had Chelsea Green out there getting involved. You had Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark appearing by the entrance to distract Becky. Despite all that, Sonya Deville could still not get the job done because she is a human punching bag. And eventually Becky Lynch did get the win. Manhandle slam. Becky Lynch going to Money in the Bank. Will she win it? Well, we'll have to see if she has some serious opposition for that match coming up in London. We had a recap from SmackDown because this is Raw. It is a 3-hour show. You have time to fill. And you know what? Why not? It was a hot angle. The fallout from the Bloodline drama. Jimmy Uso basically kicked out of the group. More on that here in just a few moments. We had a backstage confrontation between the tag champs, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Imperium. Gunther said he needs to teach Owens about discipline, and Owens was just flipping out and stormed to the ring for a match, and we had it. Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, going up against Kevin Owens, and this was a long match, lengthy match. Gunther dominated a good portion of it. Anytime Owens would try to start to build up momentum, Gunther would get the upper hand. Gunther was suplexing Owens all over the place. Owens finally delivered his own German suplex and started to build up some momentum. Owens went off the top with the Swanton Bomb, but Gunther kicked out. And then at this point, we had Vinci getting on the apron. Sami Zayn went after him. Ludwig Kaiser went after Zayn. Owens then went after Kaiser, delivered the stunner to Kaiser, but then Gunther rolled up Owens and got the 1-2-3 victory. It was a good match. We had the outside interference, which you pretty much knew was coming. Where was Matt Riddle, by the way, to even the odds? He was not out there, and the numbers game ultimately caught up with KO and Sami Zayn. Gunther wins, and it was solid. We had another video package for Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. They're, I guess, party goers. They're the life of the party. That's their gimmick. And we'll see if that works out for them. More on them in just a few moments. We did have Matt Riddle backstage. Matt Riddle was there, but for some reason not out there at ringside. He said he's sick of Gunther cheating. Well, why weren't you out there? Imperium confronted him, minus Gunther. They warned Riddle to watch his mouth, and Riddle responded by getting into a fight with them, and officials had to show up and break things up. I'm guessing it'll be Gunther versus Matt Riddle for the title, probably at Money in the Bank. We had a backstage interview with the new women's tag team champions, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. They talked about this being their destiny, and they invited any team to face them. And that's when Carter and Chance showed up, introduced themselves, the life of the party. Rousey was impressed with their stupidity and accepted the match. We had the match. They went right to it. It was not a squash match. I mean, this was an interesting first match for Chance and Carter, throwing them out there with the Sharks, but they swam for quite a while. They were holding their own. It was a competitive tag team match. Chance and Carter did some dives, some high flying. Basler went after Chance's arm while the referee was distracted, but eventually Chance tagged out to Carter. Carter and Chance double-teamed Ronda Rousey. Chance came off the top rope, splashed Rousey, but Shayna Baszler was able to break up the pin attempt. Baszler tagged back in. It was Carter in there, and Baszler eventually tapped out Carter. Pretty decent match for a losing effort. Chance and Carter had a good showing. Question is, where do you go with them from now? Do you try to have them pick up some wins and maybe get another title match? They definitely need to keep building up teams. Have some other teams out there on Raw picking up some wins against local talent. You know, the push you do for Indus Sher, you need to get like 3 or 4 women's teams and build them up for Ronda and Shayna. But yeah, this almost felt like a John Cena, Kurt Angle scenario where John Cena came out there, did not beat Kurt Angle, but looked pretty good as a rookie. We had a backstage confrontation with Ricochet and Bronson Reed. Ricochet was rubbing it in how Reed lost to Nakamura. Nakamura showed up and Reed said that it was just a bad night for him, and next time there will be a different result. Ricochet and Bronson Reed went out there for their match, one-on-one match. I guess you could call this a momentum match. 2 Money in the Bank participants just seeing who can build momentum for Money in the Bank. Pretty good match here, back and forth. But then guess who showed up? Bronson Reed. He attacked both of them. I think it was a double DQ. He attacked Nakamura first, so maybe Nakamura was the winner. I don't know. But yeah, no contest here. Crowd actually woke up for this. They were kind of quiet for this match. But when Reed came out there, they did wake up. He went up top for the tsunami. And the crowd actually chanted one more time. So yeah, Ricochet, even though he's been booked better in recent months, they still would like to see him get squashed again with the tsunami by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, I feel like he's starting to get really good reactions from the fans. And that's definitely a positive for him. Even though he lost last week, crowd still cares about him. That's a good thing. We had a Johnny Gargano video package. I guess Johnny Gargano is coming back soon from his little break, although I think he was on TV not too long ago. Whatever. Maybe they just want to build him up for when Ciampa's ready to go. We had Maxine Dupree backstage with the Alpha Academy, and they were talking about the Viking Raiders, and Maxine has a new outfit for Otis, but I don't believe we saw it unless I missed it. We had Miz TV with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, of course, still wearing the cast, broken arm. Miz said Cody looks dashing and commented on how he thinks Cody challenging Brock Lesnar for another match is stupid. And he had a surprise for Cody. Another multi-generational talent that knows the struggles of having a famous father. Of course, he was talking about Dominic Mysterio, along with Rhea Ripley, the women's champion. And as usual, lots of heat for Dominic. They were chanting, "You suck" at him. Miz was telling the fans to let him talk. Rhea said to show some respect to her Latino heat. And Dominic just tried to talk, and they were booing like crazy. He once again brought up some hard time. And Cody Rhodes is just this little birdie with a broken wing. And then Dominic said that just like Ray, Cody is a deadbeat father. Cody's response was that Dominic has a worse prison tattoo than him. And then Cody brought up how Dominic was spanked by his father at WrestleMania. And then Cody said, yes, Rey Mysterio has made mistakes, but Cody was looking at a mistake in the ring with Dominic Mysterio. Dominic was not happy with this. He sucker punched Cody, hid behind Rhea Ripley, and then Cody knocked out The Miz with his cast just because The Miz is annoying, and Cody needed to vent a little bit and let go of some steam. Building Nexus with a $2 super chat says, what's next for Cody after the reported rematch with Brock Lesnar? Which now is apparently going to be at SummerSlam. That's the big rumor at this point. That's a good question. What do you do once he's done with Brock Lesnar? What does he do for the rest of the year? Your guess is as good as mine. Like, I really think now he's going to win the Royal Rumble again next year, and it's going to be Royal Rumble, WrestleMania all over again, trying to beat Roman Reigns. Although that doesn't even seem like a guarantee. I'm wondering if it's passed by now. The moment is gone for Cody to win the big one, because with the way the Bloodline storyline is going, in 6 months, the crowd might be wanting Solo versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And will the Cody match even happen? Like, I feel they just missed the opportunity with Cody. And Cody's really over, though. They're still very much into his entrance, doing the whoa when he comes out there. Like, they're loving Cody, but where the fans going to be mentally 6 months down the line? Are they going to be ready for Cody versus Roman again? Or will the Bloodline storyline evolve so much that they want to see Solo break away from Roman and go for the title? That remains to be seen. And what does Cody do in the fall? I mean, he could potentially challenge Seth Rollins if we could get one more match with them. We'll see. Next up, we had Zoe Stark versus Natalya in another Money in the Bank qualifier. Crowd did not care about this match, and I think that's unfortunate because I'm getting into Zoe Stark now. I like her music. It kind of gives me CM Punk This Fire Burns vibes. Not sure if anybody else feels that way, but I really like the music. And I hope that she'll get over with the fans. Like, I definitely think she has some potential. But unfortunately, no crowd reaction for this. Basic match here. I mean, about as basic as you can get. Natalya did get in a little bit of offense, put on the sharpshooter, but Zoe got to the rope. And then Trish Stratus, who was at ringside, took a little cheap shot. And Stark took advantage, picked up the win with the Z360. She's in the Money in the Bank match, which means that she could potentially cost Becky Lynch the match, or maybe Trish Stratus interferes in that match. I mean, Money in the Bank ladder match, people can interfere. And would not shock me if Trish tries to cost Becky that match and help Zoe win. Paul Heyman was backstage for a promo for SmackDown. Basically, they're hyping up that Jey Uso will make his decision, a historic choice. Heyman said that Jey will ultimately stand by his brother, Solo Sikoa, and Jey will acknowledge Roman Reigns, acknowledge the Bloodline, or else. I like that they did this on Raw, set up SmackDown. SmackDown did a big number last week for the 1,000-day celebration, and you might as well keep the momentum going. Plug it on Raw. I like the idea of Heyman being there. Good stuff here. And time will tell if Jey Uso sides with Roman or what they're going to do. I'm thinking, I don't know if it's going to be Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, but I'm feeling like we're getting Jimmy versus Roman Reigns with Jey as the special guest referee. That's where it looks to be going for me. Will we get a tag match at some point? I could see that also. And maybe Jey versus Roman one more time. And then do we get Solo versus Roman? Do we get that at the Royal Rumble and The Rock shows up? I mean, so many different ways this can go, but I do think in the end, the Usos and Solo will all break away from Roman before this is all said and done. But it's just a matter of how long they let it play out. We had Indus Sher versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, but really wasn't even a match. I don't even think the bell rang for it. Indus Sher beat them up. And the one good thing about this that I liked was that Cedric Alexander was coughing on the mat, and Sanga told him to shut up. To me, that was the best thing these guys have done up to this point. I still don't care about them. I still think that this act is not going to go anywhere. But you know what? Again, the same reason Jinder Mahal has been pushed all these years. They're trying to expand their audience in India. They gotta have some Indian stars, and that's why Indus Sher they're on Raw, because WWE draws big numbers in India, and you want to have them represented. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Appreciate it. Says, Cody's moment is over. He should have won at WrestleMania. He lost to Brock Lesnar clean. It's time for Solo. Well, again, I think they should be doing Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. But we got the situation with the Usos and Solo, and I just feel like by the time this all plays out, the fans are going to be over Cody versus Roman. Like, that storyline has cooled off, and that's why if they're going to do it, it needs to be done sooner rather than later, waiting until WrestleMania 40. Not sure if that's going to work out for them, but we'll see. We had our main event of the evening, which was Seth Freakin Rollins versus Damian Priest. And I can tell you guys that if Damian Priest had not been pinned by Rollins last week, I would have been more interested in this. I still, even if Priest won a big match last week, you know he's not beating Rollins after Rollins just won the title. It was a good match. Back and forth. Priest got in plenty of offense, and it was a lengthy match. They got a good amount of time. Crowd was chanting, "This is awesome," during it. It was very solid. Priest got several near falls on Rollins, but then started doing what all the heels do. He trash talked. Rollins took advantage. They were on the outside, and Rollins power bombed him into the corner. Same thing that put Finn Balor out of action, and apparently Finn Balor did not like this because he showed up, got super kicked, even though the deal was that Judgment Day was not going to be out there. So we went against the deal that was made. Priest got Rollins with the South of Heaven choke slam, but Rollins kicked out, and Priest appeared to not be happy with Finn Balor, and his shoulder gave out on him. Rollins picked up the victory with the curb stomp. And then after the match, Finn Balor got in the ring and had a stare down with Seth Rollins. And this looks like it's going to be our title match for London. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. And at one point I was thinking, like, why not have Balor be the first guy fed and then Priest? But since the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is in London, it makes sense to do Rollins versus Balor there in the United Kingdom. You know, Balor, even though he's a heel, he'll probably get a babyface reaction. But Rollins is red hot right now, very over with the fans. So that's going to be a heated match. I'm looking forward to that one. I just feel bad that Priest was put in this situation. They should have booked it differently. Priest should have been in a different match last week and picked up a win, then answered the open challenge spontaneously on Monday night rather than announce it over the weekend. So it's like, well, now there's no intrigue as to who's going to answer Rollins' challenge. And I also wonder what's going to happen with Judgment Day. Are they teasing a breakup? I think it's too soon for a breakup, quite frankly, unless they have an idea to bring in some new members and kick out Damian Priest, maybe JD McDuggan, whatever his name is, Madonna. I still don't know what his name is. And where was he, by the way? I did not see any sign of him on this show. All in all, show was pretty good. Some filler. Crowd was was a mixed bag. Sometimes they were hot, like Dominic, they were booing like crazy, but then there were other points in the show where they were completely dead. So they were very up and down throughout the evening. Some decent build up for Money in the Bank, some teases. I'm going to give the show a B-. Not a great show, but definitely watchable. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, what if WWE does Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at a PLE in Madison Square Garden? They already have the SmackDown coming up at MSG, and I don't think they're doing anything beyond that. I mean, they do run MSG in December, but I don't think they're going to do that. If it's not Cody and Roman at SummerSlam, I think they're going to either wait on that, or if Solo gets hot enough, they might change direction and Cody might be out of luck. Like, I think a real key will be how Solo does. If people are still wondering, can Solo cut a lengthy promo? Can Solo really deliver on the mic? Like right now, he's pretty much just saying a few lines here and there, not talking too much. But if Solo can cut a really great promo, I think he's gonna be a serious contender for Roman, and they may end up going with that. We will see. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Much love and appreciation to everybody for tuning in live and watching on demand as well. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and leave a comment. Let me know your opinion on Cody Rhodes. After he's done with Brock Lesnar, who should be Cody Rhodes' next opponent? Leave a comment on the No DQ YouTube channel at youtube.com/AaronRiffNoDQ. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest wrestling news and rumors. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.